Driving directions on your phone? Oh no! That's not fun! Navigate hands-free with Apple CarPlay.
Hey everybody, season 7, episode 2 is going to be a great one. We're here with Beach Sprocket. This guy's put on some of the coolest rides in LA. I know you've seen him. I know you want to find out more. Check it out. Tell a friend. Hey everybody, welcome to Joe's Minibike Reunion. It's season 7, episode 2. It's going to be a good one. We've got Beach Sprocket in the house. We're going to be talking about some of the cool rides that Sprocket's been kind of the man behind the scenes, the guy who's been putting together the rides, taking on the task of promoting them. We're going to be doing it again, upcoming ride to Neptune Net. Before we get into the details, we're going to just bring you up to speed on some of the cool things that are happening. The biggest one being the return of Joe's Minibike Reunion. It's going to be October the 8th. It's our 10th anniversary. We're going to be right there where you want us to be, CV Park in beautiful La Crescenta. It's going to be presented by our friends at Pioneer Car Electronics, as well as all the other folks that you know make this industry buzz, like the folks over at Studs Racing. Check them out at studsracing.com. I want to begin by, again, recognizing our friends over at Pioneer. You know, Pioneer has been the global leader in car electronics and proud supporters of automotive events worldwide, including Joe's Minibike Reunion. You know, no matter what you drive, Pioneer has the gear to not only upgrade your ride, but make it sound better. You can connect to Android Auto, popular Alexis, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and more. Remember, don't break up with your car. Upgrade it with Pioneer. Also want to recognize our friends over at Studs Racing. Check them out. Eric's always a big part of the mini-bike industry. He's a great source, and he's an enthusiast. So, you know, when you buy your parts, you want to buy those parts from guys that know the scene. Check them out at studsracing.com. We're back. It's official. You know, it's been dormant for a couple of years. We haven't had the chance to do the mini bike show, but things are changing. Things are looking up. People are out there. They're building bikes. They're riding. I recently went out on a cool ride. We started in Carson, California, and we ended up going through Hollywood, which was unreal. We went to Santa Monica Pier. And then we went all the way back to Carson, maybe 100 bikes, depending on who you talk to. It was a great time, and it didn't just happen. There are some things that need to take place in order for something like that to happen. We know that you guys have heard about it, and I could talk about it, particularly now that I've been on it, with a lot of excitement because, you know, I had watched it from afar, maybe like many of you. I've seen the videos, I've seen some of the stuff on social media, and I've seen all these bikes. I mean, I'm talking about mini bikes. Yeah, you're going to see maybe a quad or two, or maybe a couple 2-strokes, or maybe a dirt bike, but it's really LA street bikes, or what they call LA bikes, as well as a couple old farts like me, and maybe some other folks that could be on a taco, or maybe a bike that you may be familiar with, a cat. but mostly it's custom bikes that are typically built by GTS. Very, very popular bike. I think we got a sense maybe 70% of these frames are GTS. There's some old school Joes. We also talked about that. You know, I want to dig into that too as I bring up Joes, because not only have I had people confuse, for all the obvious reasons, Joes, who is an old school manufacturer of, you know, rigid frame death trap mini bikes. That Joe is that Joe, but I'm not him. But I used to get many people that would call me with all kinds of comments about Joe's frames, good, bad, and indifferent. But I'm not Joe's frames, but his bikes are still out there. There's many guys who show up on these rides on those Joe's frames. And look, that's testament to the fact that he did something right. So he's still out there. Folks are still supporting him. But GTS is by far the most popular. And that reminds me of the fact that we'll be giving away a big tire. I believe a 10-inch tire rolling frame is the plan. We're going to be giving that away to one of you lucky participants who come to the show. We've also got with the folks over at Fastlane Racing, and with the help of Cleveland, as well as Lonell and Daryl, we're going to put together a slightly modified engine. It won't be bolted to the roller giveaway. It'll be given to you in addition to that, so you can put it on and kill yourself without our help. But the fact is that we've got a lot of good things coming up, including that it's a giveaway. But yeah, when you roll up there, these bikes, by far, are dominated by LA street bikes. And the guy who's been the man behind these rides is Long Beach Sprocket. And I want to have him pop up now and give us a little sense of what's happening. Sprocket, thanks for joining us on the podcast again.
Thank you.
This is your second time. It's kind of nice to be with you face to face instead of Skype. Thanks for rolling up. How was your day today?
It was good. I just got off of work pretty much. Rushed over here, make sure I was here in time.
Well, you did it. So during the day, you're a wrench, right? You're a repairman. You're a guy doing all kinds of cool things. I see you working on. You do a pretty good job, I might add.
I try to do a good job, you know.
Yeah.
Some people don't wrench as good, but.
What'd you work on today?
A 57 Chevy. Worked on Prius. Just some basic stuff, random stuff.
So you do it all, huh?
Yeah.
And you're a young guy, but I still see you're teaching some old guys how to do tricks.
I look young, you know, but I'm not that young.
How long you been in the automotive repair game?
A solid 10 years.
Oh, good. So this mini bike stuff kind of comes to you kind of naturally, or how did you get started in it?
I was into pocket bikes when I was younger, and mini bikes started to come to play, pretty much.
Everybody that you grew up with, all the guys you hung out with, were they into them too, or were you just the odd guy that was into them?
It was kind of just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
Why was that?
I don't know. I was more into motors and engines and stuff, and they were into like skateboards and other stuff.
Yeah, I never did the skateboard thing either.
I did a little bit.
I like to have something with an engine.
Yeah.
It was the same thing with guys. I used to live in Florida for a while, and everybody was into surfing. It's like, no, I need something to get away from a shark. I got to have something with an engine, so I got into jet skis. So I had come across, just as little background on my end, I first came into your world through Day Day, who is also and was a guy that I met through one of our recent guests, Daryl Big Daddy Smith as well. And I had reached out to him because my wife and I, we were camping on Malibu, PCH, at Malibu RV Park the day that you guys first decided to go up to Neptune's Net. Mm-hmm. And I had been keeping up with the Instagram stuff, and this coincidentally, we decided that we were going to camp that time. And it's like, shit, this is the day that these guys are going to be rolling up to Malibu. I gotta keep an eye on that. I hope I get there. I hope I don't miss them. And we set up the camp, and I'm out there with my binoculars, and my wife's out there, and I said, I hope I didn't miss these fucking guys, because it would be great to see them. And sure as shit, we were in the middle of talking or cooking or drinking something, and I heard a couple little faint mini bikes, and then I just saw you guys rolling up, and I rushed out there. I got some video, but it was from afar. And then I waited. I figured, well, those guys need about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go get up there, eat, drink, get high, come back, whatever. And sure as shit, I see everybody coming back, and I really wanted more video. I had my primitive video that I had shot, and ultimately it came back to Day Day, and he got me to you. And I knew you were kind of on the down low, because it wasn't as if you wanted the world to know that what was happening, but you've become quite the mini bike organizer. And I had to have you on here because it's quite the spectacle, man. I got to hear more about it from your perspective.
Yeah, it is a spectacle. How did you in your perspective of watching it on the side of
Yeah.
us rolling by you, how did it look? Was it loud?
It was like a swarm of hornets. It really was. And I get that same feeling when I'm at my mini bike show and the Honda Grom lifestyle group comes in, the scooter dudes, because they come in with their own, they come usually after. They're like the cool guys come to the club late. You don't want to be there early, right? It was the same thing with the two-stroke guys. So when I saw you, it was like not only the sound, which is what we all draw to because that's what we remember. It's the sound. Then it's like those crazy bastards. They're going to fucking break down. They're on PCH. They're going to get caught by the cops. Shit, they're going to get eaten by a shark. Fucking some drunk celebrity's going to run these guys. Nothing good's going to happen out of 60 of these guys trying to go to Neptune Net. I mean, so yeah, there was that part. It's like, all right, it's almost like watching a car wreck, or because you're waiting to see something, and then you root for that person you know is going to get attacked or eaten by the shark. It's like, hope they get back. I was pulling for you. And then what I notice is it's easy to come into that drop into Neptune Net. You know, you drop down to Zuma. So the funniest thing was waiting on you. Oh man, I had the binoculars and I was watching it go ring. You can just hear the engine, and sure as shit, even the slowest. And believe me, the ones you were pulled for, it's almost like the last doe that can't keep up with the group and they're falling behind and someone's going to attack it. There's that little straggler mini bike that was just, and I would watch him painstakingly. Had a beer, had a little half a joint in my mouth, just turning and just praying he would make it up. And I didn't see anybody break down. And that's when I put the goggles down and realized they made it. And that's where I knew I had to get some. And so my first ride was the recent one that took place from Carson to the pier, Santa Monica and back. And I've told that story. I've shared some video, and I don't think I could do it justice. It's a good group. They're the gas stops are pretty tough because there's just so many of these bikes stopping for gas, and they're so small. As you look back at the fact that you've created a little bit of a whirlwind here, what goes through your mind? Is this something now that you're like, okay, I'm in the thick of this now. I got to do these things once a month now. I got to do that. I got to work. I got to pick destinations. I got to, we were talking about support teams helping us in case we break down. What do you do about the guys who want to run without helmets? You've become a little bit of a promoter, haven't you? A little bit more of a
somewhat of a promoter, but it's more as learn as you go for me right now.
Okay.
But I do learn off of other people and other type of ride outs and stuff that other people throw and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like dirt bike ride outs or street bike ride outs and stuff. So I try to put it into our scene and stuff. Try to have like sort of an organization or have it organized so we won't look all messy and stuff on the street.
Good catch. Good skills. We're going to give those away on the podcast. We've got some giveaways. If you're listening to our season opener with Daryl Big Daddy Smith, we had a bunch of stuff from Fast Lane Racing. We'll continue to give out some swag the way it goes. We've changed the format for this podcast. We've gone from live broadcasts to these tape broadcasts now. And again, we're here with Long Beach Sprocket. I remember when we had first talked as well, you had asked about certain things. I think I may have announced the fact that I was going to be looking to secure a date, and you were asking about, working with the parks and, typical costs and things. And I thought I'd find a time to talk to you more directly than share some of those details online, right? Because everybody thinks that you just pay $500 to rent the park.
No, there's a lot more after that.
Right? And believe
it's
me,
not even $500. It's more than that.
So yes. And when you had talked about that, I knew it's like, dude, do it. I got a sense, it wasn't as if you and I knew each other, but I could just sense that, there's an innate feeling that you have about folks that want to do it to try to make money, or folks that want to do it because they're
passion.
Yes. And that's what you have. And that's very obvious. Who else is behind the scenes that you work with that helps you with, because again, it's got to take more than you. Who else?
Of course.
Who are the folks? I see you wear the Pull Start t-shirts. First Pull.
I deal with him a lot. Well, not I should say deal. I'm sorry. I'm with him a lot.
Who's he?
He's one guy just like us.
Yeah. Who is he? Is he somebody you want to recognize?
Yeah. His name is Wayne.
Okay. What's up, Wayne? Shout out, Wayne.
He is not me. We're two different people.
I want to stop you on that. Who are you? Because it is a question. Everybody, you like the Long Beach Sprocket deal? Yeah. Is that always been your kind of MO, where you just lie on that? Do did you ever want to share your name, or is that by design?
I'd rather keep my personal life different. You know,
okay, I respect that.
Some people are kind of weird in this scene.
You know a few? You know a few? Most of them are pretty cool, though. When you say that, like on the ride, I really had a great time from the time I got there. Yeah. What is it that? Why do we attract such a cool group in your eyes? Is it just the nature of the beast, or just the fact that cool people attract cool people, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say,
a little bit of that.
Yeah, when you ride for a certain amount of time, you learn to watch people and I stay to myself, because every time I meet somebody or I try to connect with somebody, it gets real weird.
Yeah, I found that most of the guys that I spend time with riding that Honda Grom lifestyle, like when you met Bing Flores, it wasn't as if you had known him for a long time, right? That was pretty much a new relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of those gems out there too. A lot of these guys that I've met riding, particularly on Friday nights, as well as obviously the mini bike show. The problem I've had with the mini bike show is sometimes, you get so caught up in the dynamics behind the scenes, you don't get a chance to go talk to as many of the guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you find as a host that really doesn't matter? Because that's what I've had to do. I've had to just make sure that, if I see Daryl huddling up with somebody, or if I see the F&B guys talking to somebody, or the scooter guys are all having a good time, to me, it's like, I don't miss a trick. I kind of wish I was still doing that, especially when they're partying near the benches over there.
No, that's why I throw the meet too as well. I have like at least 2-hour meet so that people can just hang out, meet people and just hang out pretty much.
Yeah. And that's where I met. I met. I kind of saw you doing you're doing the handshaking and the kissing babies and going out there. You got to do that political thing because it's your deal, right?
Yeah.
I was relieved to be the other guy. It was nice for me to then just become the participant or the attendee instead of being the host.
Yeah, that too. I'm waiting for other people to throw a ride out so I could ride.
What would you tell those folks that think that maybe they we've attracted folks from Inland Empire? I know the folks from the AV have come in. I've had one guy from San Diego, Santa Barbara,
Vegas.
And even with and that's with our current rides, the Friday night rides, and some of the things that you're assembling. But for the mini bike show, they're starting to come. We've had folks that have come as far as our in-studio guest here, Jerry, East Coast, New York, New Jersey, Washington. It's nothing from Arizona. It's like they want more of this. What is it about this mini bike thing that we have here that you think is creating the buzz? Is it just the fact that they wish they had done it? Maybe some of these older guys when they were young and they too are interested, or is it the younger guys because they can get into it because of its affordability?
I think it's a little bit of everything, When I was younger, I didn't really have a childhood, so right now is my childhood, so, I'm going balls out right now, as you guys can see.
Do you still get excited the night before?
Always. So I can sleep, but not like some people who can't sleep because, they're overexcited, but.
You're not picking out your outfit in advance and all that shit,
no,
right?
No,
all right, good.
Pick out 3 days ahead.
So what do you say about these guys who may still roll up without some of the things we talked about?
A helmet, take your ass home. I can tell you that.
That's it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What about maybe some of the tips about is your bike worthy enough? Having that hard conversation with maybe your friend too, who wants to just come and it's like, I know his rattle trap ain't gonna make it. What do you suggest that those guys just be direct and tell these guys that? Because not all these bikes can make these rides, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, there's what are some of the things that you would use as a scale? Yeah, at a minimum, you would expect from some of these bikes that want to come out here.
Make sure your bike is like
bulletproof, right?
Bulletproof, durability.
Shake that baby out maybe the week before, so you have a chance to make some of it. Because if you shake it out the morning of, not only is gas going to be an issue, dude, you're
gonna break something shaking it out.
And isn't it nature's way, unfortunately, that hey, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen on one of these ride outs. This is not pull start the mini bike and go up and down the block and get a video. We were gone. Shit, I got home. It took me 2 days to friggin' recover. I don't know how long it was, but we started.
It takes me 4 days to recover after a ride out. Shoot.
I got back. Hey, I will say this too. I have no game in it. I purchased one of these Harbor Freight trailer hitches. It's a single bike. Got like a little bar. And man, do it. Anybody that's got a trailer hitch, or you can stick one of those on there. I'm glad that I was able to drive. I don't recommend that you ride your bike to the meet. If at all possible, transport it. Wouldn't you suggest that too?
Some people can.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I suggest it. If some people don't have a vehicle, there are some younger kids that don't have a vehicle. So
Sure.
they will ride up to the meet. So I tell them, go ahead.
Yeah. Or maybe you can.
If that's your only way to get there, go ahead.
Or on Instagram or some of these social media platforms that may give a heads up about the ride in advance.
Mm-hmm.
You always have a chance to say, hey, look, if anybody rolling out from Westminster, or I'm in Azusa or whatever you find yourself, because it is a good group. And I think everybody's in. I'd much rather ride along with somebody or have somebody with me as well. So don't be shy about that.
That's why I tell everybody. I try to tell everybody to make friends in the community, link up with other people and stuff. That way, especially with people in your own living area, that way you can have a big solid group.
And a little help.
Yeah.
A little help.
Yeah.
I was trying to bleed the brake on a bike, and even something like that, just to have somebody over there that can help you bleed the brakes, and maybe that guy's got a little bit more insight on that predator that you've been working on, or maybe you need a little help or maybe you have a little expertise that you can help them with. I've really learned that with the two-stroke guys. I'm far from a two-stroke guy, but some of these guys that I've met on these Friday night runs, they're masters. And, you learn a little bit, and it's all good. Hey, we've been here talking to Long Beach Sprocket. He's been the man behind the scenes for many of these LA rides that have been taking not only the West Coast by storm, but getting some attention nationwide. And in that context, we invite anybody who's interested, who has a bike, that's got a bike that's capable of maybe the duration of what we do, to check it out, be a part of it. In terms of finding out more about it, it's not something that you buy an ad and tell the world about. To some degree, this is something that's, let's face it, it's illegal. Mini bikes are, in most cases, particularly the ones that we're talking about, predominantly, they have no serial numbers. They're not insured. There's no lights. There's nothing insured. So with that said, it's not for everybody. Be mindful of the fact that if you want to participate, your bike should be capable of making the long run. If they want to find out about the next ride, like I know that there's a planned ride. It's next weekend.
This Sunday.
Okay. That's Neptune Net. For those of you who don't know, and for those of you who do, Neptune Net is a haven for not only motorcyclists, but automotive enthusiasts worldwide. It sits across the street from PCH. Magnificent place. Somewhere, I'm sure you'll find Joe's Minibike Reunion decals. Take a picture when you're there. This ride's going to be good. If they'd like to participate, where do they go? How do they find out? On
this ride?
Yep.
I would say follow Ozzy. Shoot, I forgot his Ozzy9286. That's his Instagram. He's hosting the ride. There's a couple other people hosting the ride as well. But I would say follow the big pages of mini bikes. It's
kind of an Instagram world now, more than a Facebook page kind of a thing now. Yeah, a long time ago. So check out Ozzy. How about for you? If folks could get a hold of you
on Instagram.
Yeah, so we're going to run that. We've got your homepage for Instagram that we'll post up there. What are you doing? What's your next plan ride? Do you have that in your mind yet?
My next plan is a bike show.
Oh, a static bike show?
Yeah, my second one.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Outdoor environment, indoor environment?
Outdoor.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about it? What do you got planned?
Well, I threw one in, when was it? Oh, Thanksgiving week.
Last year.
It was Friendsgiving picnic / bike out.
Not bike out. How was that turn out?
It was pretty good. I think I saw like 50 plus bikes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It was all free food, so everybody just came out, hang out pretty much. I didn't want to charge anything, so it's all just community wise,
Thank you for doing that. It takes.
I got it from you.
Good.
That conversation we had.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, sometimes look, when they're leading how much money we're going to make. I remember people used to say to me, "That's a lot of money." It's like, dude, it's fucking $20. I give you a goodie bag that's worth $50. We're all, but it's like, so.
Yeah, that's the one. I didn't want no money involved during the show or anything.
Look, people have no problem paying. It is a frugal group. Make no mistake about it.
Mm-hmm.
This mini bike hobby it's probably the most affordable entry into power sports is through a mini bike, and we should be happy for that.
It's not that cheap.
The deal is that if anybody's asking you for a little bit of love, you should almost be doing it before they ask. And also keep the whiners at home. I've dealt with a little bit of that. When a guy like Sprocket, on his own, based on his own drive and his own passion, and in some cases his own pocket, You don't need to bitch about the fact that maybe he's not going in and out. Okay, or why are they not stopping enough at the get? So keep all your whining at home. Come and enjoy it. Check out Ozzy's Instagram page. It's kind of quick, so don't rush to come out. Maybe you'll wait for the next one. What else you got here? Got a little decals here.
That's Ozzy's right there.
Nice. So there's Ozzy's info right there. Anything that I may have forgotten about, or anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, or anything else on your mind that you'd like to
give a shout out to Joe, State to State. He runs Minibikes Not a Crime.
Okay.
First pool.
Everybody had the Minibikes Not a Crime decal.
Yeah, it's going around.
What if folks want one?
I wanted to go around.
How do they get one of these?
They can get one off of me. They can get one off of
everybody's here. You can get them from our friends. In fact, we have a guest coming up from Prestige Parts that will Smoking Jade that could hook you up with decals. So we've got the hook up there. In fact, I was kind of like a decal guy myself. And then I realized that it wasn't these big decals. These were bigger than mini bikes. I realized that you had to have the small ones that would actually fit on the mini bike. So
on the full start?
Yeah, you got to have that.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's been great to catch up with you again. Do me a favor, because you're really into it. If there are any guests that you think have a voice that are doing something kind of cool that you think would be good to have on to showcase in front of some of the folks that listen, be mindful of that. I'd love for you to be a part of the Mini Bike Show. In fact, maybe you want to be one of the judges for a class that I'm just coming up with now. It's called the LA Bike. I don't think anybody would be as well equipped as you would be to evaluate, and they'll probably come in the droves. I do want to have a class for them because I see it so prominent with your events. Thanks for showing up. He's Long Beach Sprocket. You can check him out on all his social media outlets. He's been putting on some pretty cool rides that many of you have asked about. We thought it'd be cool to have him on the early editions. This is season 7 of Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. I'm your host, Joe Sebergandio, and I don't know, tell a friend if you like the podcast. Again, we are changing our Instagram page to JMBR Official. We've got a new website that should be up and running to take your early registration where you can save money for the 10th annual Joe's Minibike Reunion held at CV Park in beautiful La Crescenta on October the 8th. Be there or be square, won't you? Thanks to our friends at Pioneer Car Electronics, as well as our friends at Studs Racing. I'm Joe Sebergandio, and you're not. We'll see you on the next Joe's Minibike Reunion podcast. Thanks, everybody.
Joe's Minibike Show.